Hey, what's up everyone? Game Pizza Boy here, host of the Pizza Party. Good to see you all. Welcome back to the channel. I am back for another awesome video to talk about some cool gaming news. And in today's video, I want to kind of give my thoughts on the recent gameplay trailer and go through a couple articles on the new Indiana Jones game coming out that will be developed by Machine Games, the people responsible for the Wolfenstein series. And also just kind of give my thoughts of it and just get excited for this. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is going to be a pretty anticipated game. I was pretty intrigued to find out about there being a Indiana Jones game in the work by Bethesda. So this has got me pretty excited by this. I cannot wait to see where this kind of goes. So we're going to go ahead and go through this, and I will obviously give my thoughts on the trailer and just give you guys some cool little information about the stuff. And I'll put everything in the link in the description below if you want to go see the trailer, go read the articles I was reading. So feel free to go do so if you want. But as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button, comment down below and tell me your thoughts about the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle game coming out, and make sure you don't forget to subscribe. All right, let's get right into it, and let's talk about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I'm excited for this. Now, first, let's talk about some details first for the game, and then I'll go into giving my thoughts of the entirety of the game and based on the trailer I've seen. Of course, you can also go look at the trailer yourself, which will also, again, be linked in the description below. So what's stated in the information and details and descriptions for Indiana Jones' Great Circle, it goes like this. Uncover one of history's greatest mysteries in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, a first-person single-player adventure set between the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade, specifically between the second one, Temple to and I think The Last Crusade, I think they stated, which that is pretty exciting to see what kind of original new story they got in store for us. The year is 1937. Sinister forces are scouring the globe for the secret to an ancient power connected to the Great Circle. Only one person can stop them: Indiana Jones. You'll become the legendary archaeologist in this cinematic action-adventure game developed by Machine Games, the award-winning studio behind the recent Wolfenstein series, and executive produced by Hall of Fame game designer Todd Howard. On Bethesda.net, they also explain a few more details on the story, what you can expect from the game, and even also combat. In the details on the site, they explain, live the adventures indie in a thrilling story full of exploration, immersive action, and intriguing puzzles. As the brilliant archaeologist famed for his keen intellect, cunning resourcefulness, and trademark humor, you will travel the world in a race against enemy forces to discover the secrets to one of the greatest mysteries of all time. Travel from the halls of Marischal College to the heart of the Vatican, the pyramids of Egypt, the sunken temples of Sukhothai, if I pronounced that right, sorry, I butchered that wrong, and beyond. When a break in the dead night ends in a confrontation with a mysterious colossal man, you must set out to discover the world-shattering secret behind the theft of a seemingly unimportant architect, forging new alliances and facing familiar enemies. You'll engage with intriguing characters, use guile and wits to solve ancient riddles, and survive intense set pieces. In the combat side of things, he also explained about Indiana Jones' whip cracking action. Indiana Jones' trademark whip remains at the heart of his gear and can be used to distract, disarm, and attack enemies. But the whip isn't just a weapon. It's Indy's most valuable tool for navigating the environment. Swing over unsuspecting patrols and scale walls as you make your way through a striking world. Combine stealth infiltration, melee combat, and gunplay to combat the enemy threat and unravel the mystery. Venture through a dynamic mix of linear, narrative-driven gameplay and open-area maps. Indulge your inner explorer and unearth a world of fascinating secrets, deadly traps, and fiendish puzzles where anything could potentially hide the next piece of the mystery. Or snakes. Why it had to be snakes. Now let's get into obviously our first article jumping in, and this is from Screen Rant, that they discuss what to expect from new and returning characters so far in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Obviously, with Indiana Jones, there are tons of colorful cast of characters, both good people, bad people, heroes, villains, you name it right there. We can expect for sure from the franchise, maybe returning, some that are fresh and new. So here's what Screen Rant got for us so far about these characters right now. 3 years after it was first teased by Bethesda Softworks, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, developed by Machine Games, has had a full reveal at the 2024 Developer Direct from Xbox, revealing many of the game's major characters. As a game set in the same continuity as the many movies, of course, the Great Circle includes a number of returning characters, but also some additions that are completely completely new to the game. From the time of the Great Circle's initial reveal, the at the time unnamed game has mostly been kept tightly under wraps, although some leaks from Indiana Jones did preemptively reveal the title. As the developer direct, however, developers from Machine Games have revealed a substantial amount of details about the game, including its gameplay, the narrative's place in the Indiana Jones timeline, and some of the major characters new and returning involved in the game's story. While there's still more to reveal, the game's main cast is seemingly mostly accounted for. And here's every information we got right here. So we first get to know every returning character in the Great Circle. While the new trailer showcases the Great Circle have introduced a number of new characters, there are some notable appearances from the movies as well, with, of course, the main including, of course, Indiana Jones himself, who serves as the game's main protagonist and playable character. Also returning from Indiana Jones' movies is actually seemingly the character Marcus Brody, who you might see in the trailer briefly. He is one of Indiana Jones' colleagues at Marshall College, who also appear in Raiders of the Lost Ark and even The Last Crusade. In the developer direct trailer via Bethesda Softworks' YouTube channel, Brody only makes a minor appearance in one scene where he advised Indy not to run from his problems, and it's currently unknown whether he will play a significant role in the story for the full game. Now, we only don't know too much about the many other returning characters. The only two that was mentioned so far, but we might get more details very soon on that. But here's some of the new characters we can expect. Aside from Indiana Jones and the brief appearance of Marcus Brody, the showcase of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle also showed off some entirely new characters set to play major roles in the game's narrative. Serving as a secondary protagonist and ally is Gina. I hope I pronounced that right. An investigative reporter with a personal stake involving solving the mysteries of the game's main plot. Not much else has been revealed about Gina so far, but the developer direct shows that has shown her to be the one of Indiana's main allies in the Great Circle. On the other hand, the main villain in the game has been revealed to be none other than a new character, the intensively psychological Emmerich Voss, who's been teased as an intelligent villain, able to get under Indy's skin and serve as a foil to him as well. The villain who sets off the inciting incident of the plot, however, though, for the story, is not Voss, but instead as a yet unnamed character referred to just simply as the Mysterious Giant, who kicks off the story of the Great Circle by, of course, as you saw in the trailer, breaking into Marshall College and stealing a very historical artifact, and Indiana Jones finding out about this. With only a vague release date of 2024 and the promise of more to show in the coming months, it's likely that the cast of the Great Circle will be rounded out with more new characters and potentially even other cameos of characters from the movies as well, with a mix of old faces and new additions. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle looks to be balancing referential movie nostalgia with a compelling original Indiana Jones story. Now, finally, last but not least, of course, in the final article down below here from Digital Trends, this one right here that explains, obviously, of course, what we can expect from the gameplay and trailers, that we might see more of it, and what we can expect for more details in the release date. So here's a little bit of what we know so far from everything else. First, I'll just get out of the way, of course, obviously, is a little more details on exactly the gameplay, of course, a bit more as we can expect, basically, and then I'll finish it off with, of course, a release date. They do mention, of course, platforms, but obviously I'm pretty sure everyone knows what platforms they're going to be, obviously, but here are the details right now, what we can expect. Gameplay, they do explain that there was plenty of debate whether or not Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will be a third-person game. Our first look cleared that mystery up very quickly, confirming the game will almost entirely be in first person. And honestly, you know what? I think that's a good idea they do a first person, because third person, I'm not really keen on thinking that will be fitting for Indiana Jones. I think it being a first person would just make you feel like you are Indiana Jones. So it just feels very well in that kind of just style gameplay for something like this. So I think it's going to be good to have it just for first person, not third person. Maybe it would be nice if they maybe add like a option to do third person in the future for those who want it. But honestly, I think it's not necessary. I think first person could be perfect. The only exceptions are cutscenes and when performing traversal actions like climbing around the environment, which they did demonstrate in the trailer briefly before in some moments, even in some important information during the developer direct as well. This makes sense as the developers are most experienced in creating first-person titles and want to really put players in the shoes of Indiana Jones, which makes sense because obviously Machine Games is known for the Wolfenstein series, and that has a lot of first-person gameplay most of the time. So I think keeping this at first person is going to be much better, in my opinion. Combat so far consists of melee fighting with bare fists, using your whip and pulling out a trusty pistol to blast away enemies. No other weapons were shown with the exception of a machine gun mounted on a plane during a set piece, and then obviously there's a pistol you can use, but besides that, no other guns was shown yet. So it is unclear if you will stick with these core tools or swap out firearms as you go. Some moments of platforming exploration also are featured and will likely be used to break up the combat and set piece moments. Puzzles are another component of the game too, with we see glimpses of Indy exploring ancient ruins and interacting with various contraptions in order to progress. Now, of course, now it's talking about is obviously the pre-orders and the release date. The release date and platforms, as stated right here, it is stated that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will be released is scheduled for sometime in 2024. So this year sometime. Considering the slate of titles currently announced from first-party publishers and how little we've seen this game in comparison, we expect it to arrive in a few months of the year. Of course, it could always slip into next year as well, which is expected. I think I expect this game probably to get a delay, honestly, because I mean, come on, this game I need to definitely make sure it's on par for sure. So I'm hoping at least if it delays, that's fine by me because I just want the game to be good. Now for platforms, the game obviously, as we know, since it's Bethesda and they're obviously part of Microsoft, now the game will only be exclusively on for Xbox, available probably for Game Pass users and just people who want to buy the game on their consoles on Xbox, and also be available through PC as well, obviously on Steam and even also on the Microsoft Store from there too as well. So PlayStation players cannot get their chance to play the game on their console. They'll have to make sure they have a PC or an Xbox themselves to play it, which is disappointing, but hey, that's what happens when you deal with exclusives sometimes, which I'm not a big fan of, but hey, that's just how it goes. So if you have an Xbox and a PC, good for you. If you don't, well, that's unfortunate right there. Now, as for pre-orders, they did say without firm release date, there's no pre-order information for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, of course. Being obviously an Xbox first-party game, you can count on it being added to Game Pass at launch, they state. So that's to be expected, of course. I know for sure sooner or later it'll be available ready for pre-order, and I know we'll probably hear some more details on pre-ordering stuff like that. But you know me, I'm definitely not going to be pre-ordering most likely because I want to wait till the game comes out for sure and hear details. But I might maybe give it time to hear more before I even decide maybe if I want to pre-order it by day one. Who knows? I'll think about it. But one thing for certain is for sure, there's a lot to expect for this right now. We know it's coming out 2024. We don't have an exact date in the year, but we know it's coming out this year unless, of course, it gets delayed, which I'm okay with that. We know it's only coming out on Xbox PC. We know there's no pre-orders just yet, and gameplay is what we expect pretty much. Puzzle solving, a lot of cool stuff used with the whip and along with other different weapons. And, of course, we know there's going to be so many returning and new characters to be expected. There is going to be a lot to expect with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. We can expect to hear more in the coming months, so we just got to keep our eyes peeled and we'll probably hear more. But you'll know I'll be here to make videos anytime when it does because I look forward to this game. This is probably one of my favorite games I'm really excited for. So my final thoughts so far based on this information I read from the trailer I just watched and just going through it again, I'm just pretty excited about this. Like, it is going to be amazing. I'm definitely excited to see this definitive, hopefully true experience of an Indiana Jones game we can hopefully enjoy. Hopefully this will be the one that everyone's been waiting for, something like this since its announcement, and maybe it will be pretty exciting to see. So only time will tell. So good luck to Bethesda, good luck to Machine Games, especially for developing it. Hopefully we will see an exciting future with this, and if it does well, maybe we'll see more future Indiana Jones games like this. So definitely let me know if you guys think that should happen. If you guys think this game goes well, do you guys think there should be more of these games in the future? So let me know in the comment section below. With that, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys are excited as I am. I cannot wait for this game. I'm super stoked for it. I will have more information in the future if anything comes out, so definitely keep your eyes peeled. But as always, guys, thank you guys for joining in. I hope you guys are excited as I am, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, everyone, keep on partying, my friends.